show where conversation is art, 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 art. Conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what the spot on the Val show. Ain't no telling the Val and Val show. You know the Val and Val show, the Val and Val show.
Well, hello, hello. I don't know what happened to the opening song, but it's skipped far ahead. But hey, we're going to let it roll on, roll on. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a treat for you tonight. We have a treat for you tonight. As you saw from the flyer, we are just heading on down the Dundrill Heights cast list because y'all know my former co-host, who knows what he may have. And I'd like to welcome everyone. Need you to please like and share. And I'm trying to look this up so I can share it on Facebook. So pardon my looking for it, okay? Gotta find it and get it shared. Anyway, we're going to start out how we've been doing this entire month. We do know that it is Women's History Month, and we have some women to honor. So let's get started with that. First of all, we want to make sure we have women inspiring women around the world. Yes, we must support each other. And not just women, but men, y'all jump on there and inspire women too. Question you need to ask yourself: how do you inspire women? How do you inspire women? That's very important. That what we say is encouraging. And even if we need to correct something, to do it kind, do it kind. So the first person we're going to be honoring is a young lady I watched grow up, love her. Her mother was one of my mentors as a young nurse. And this is Dr. Adrienne Stark. She is a scientist and founder and CEO of Stream Innovations. She decided to come back home to Fairfield, aka Birmingham, Alabama, to start this 501c. And she is creating her own scientists, as she would say. She is committed to helping students to develop and explore their passion for science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So we want you to support Adrienne in her endeavors as she's doing this. And I will be pasting her website into the chat in a little bit. Next, we have this dynamic educator change major, Devin Frazier. She's on a mission to wipe out illiteracy. She's going to increase the literacy rates in children and dismantle the school to prison pipeline. She is also a native of Fairfield. Now, y'all heard me say Dr. Starks was from there. Look at these Fairfield young ladies. They are doing the doggone thing. So she's engaging them in literature that reflects their culture and mirrors their image. And her goal and vision is to have students of color reading at or beyond their grade level. She is the founder of I See Me Inc. I See Me Inc. And I want you all to go to this website. Just don't be listening to what I'm saying without going to this website to support these businesses. And lastly, we have Brown's education consultant, Dr. Veronique Zimmerman Brown. She creates innovative curriculum development and educator training. And let me tell you, she's a boss lady in this. She is a boss lady in this. She will build a curriculum that will have children stimulated and eager to learn. So please give an applause for these ladies. Dr. Adrienne Starks, Devin Frazier, educator, and Dr. Veronique Zimmerman Brown. So let's get down to the business at hand, you all. Now, as you all know, we've had my semi-former co-host. That's how I'm gonna refer to Valton. I'm still grieving. Okay, I'm still grieving. I just want y'all to know that. Just want you to know that. So anyway, we've had some of his actors on. So we're just gonna keep going because guess what? They're filming this next episode of Dundrill Heights, and be assured it's full of drama. It's full of drama. And you know, I'm your host, Valerie Jones and Valerie. It depends on which one you get. I don't know who I am tonight, whether I'm Valerie or Val, or I'm gonna be both. I make up my mind as I go along. How about that? That works for me. So as you know, Valton has a film camp as well. And we want to make sure that we support that. I'm going to let this jump up here real quick, and mainly because I want you all to make sure that you help support this. This is going to be started March 23rd, I believe, March 25th through the 29th. So you will have an opportunity to donate. You see that Cash App, $ Valton Johnson. They're going to be needing support for this. We always talk about the children and what they don't do and what they don't have. Well, how? It's time for you to be a part of the change that you want to see. And if you're interested, you can scan the QRS code, or you can go to cinematic-creations.agency. They only have 50 slots, and there is a registration fee of 50. So you'll be committed to coming and bringing your child. So please check that out now, or you won't be able to get on. You remember they used to say you study long, study wrong. So if you take too long, you might not get in. So, with that being said, again, welcome to Conversation is Art, the Val and Val Show. I'm your host, Valerie Jones and Val Jones. Tonight, we have one of the actors that is in the process right now of filming her part. Her name is Jocelyn Jefferson, and she was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. She has 3 children. And guess what, y'all? She's my career colleague. She is a nurse, and we know nurses rock. Look, but I'm gonna say she's a mid-level nurse now, only 12 years in. She got to go a little bit further to catch up with my 36, with my 36. And she's an assistant director of nursing. And I'm sure that's a job. And Dundrill Heights is probably her therapy. Like Conversations Art is my therapy for me. She said she met Valton, and now he got a part of Dondra Heights. That's what Valton does. He just go out and get these people and say, hey, you can do this. And they have to show up and do it. So come on in. We have Miss Ruby Red right here. And I'm going to let her tell you all about how she came about being called and known as Ruby Red. So how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm doing great. So we're going to start out first. Tell us about this Ruby Red.
So, I got the call from my former nursing supervisor. We still kept in touch. And she was
Okay. And
like,
talk a
hey,
little bit louder for me. Just a little bit louder. Thank you.
I got a call from my friend who was my nursing sister, my former nursing supervisor. So she was like, hey, are you available to act? And I was like, yeah, I'm always available to act. What's going on? So she was like, I got this part for you. I'm gonna let you talk to the guy. His name is Valton Johnson, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I talked to Valton on the phone, and he said your character is gonna be Ruby Red. Now, originally, this character, somebody else was supposed to be this character. Something came up, and she wasn't able to fulfill it. So I was like, okay, well, let me give it a shot. So he was like, well, send me some headshot. What you
And
think?
he said it just like that.
Just so I let him see my TikTok page, and we just went from there.
Yeah, hey, that sounds like him. That sounds just like him. So that's your character's name, Ruby Red, right? Okay,
Yes,
now y'all already know. Anybody named Ruby, then you add red onto it. You already know you got some drama behind it, okay? When
yes.
I was growing up, and me and my cousin were laughing talking about this, we had a lady in our community. Her name was Lily Red. Her name,
Oh, I'm
that's what she went by, Lily Red. Okay. And she
yes,
sweet lady, but look, you knew when she showed up. Man, we was talking about how she walked in church. Maybe she had a shimmy when she came
I
in
let you know
church. And she was
exactly.
and she was sharp. Okay, not sharp, sharp. Okay. So listen, you all, Ruby Red. That's the character's name. So we already know. We already know. Now, my sorority sister got to give our shout to my sorority sister, Nambi Bibb, uh, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and her husband Sammy Bibb, who just happened to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, which Valton Johnson is too. So we'll mention them, so I won't have to hear it. And
Yes.
also I had Troy on, who is
Mhm.
also our sorority sister. So we just moving on down. We have to get some in the mail, actors to come in and talk about their roles as well, which I'm sure we will. Because one thing I'm going to do, Vaz is going to get time um, for his promotion because we got to definitely promote each other up. So now let's do a little bit of background about nursing. How did you end up in that field?
Ooh,
Still trying to
well,
figure it out.
yeah, this nurse, she retired twice. She had extensive history in nursing. When I was about 11 years old in sixth grade, I used to, she would pick me up from school or would send the unit clerk to come pick me up. And I would have to go to the hospital and sit in the break room. And so I was exposed to, nursing and healthcare at an early age. So I wanted to be an anesthesiologist at first, but didn't work out like that. So, needless to say, I followed in her footsteps and became a nurse. So it was
Okay.
in early age.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look, I need to apologize. Devin, I don't know how to spell your name wrong when I was looking at it. Forgive me. But anyway, I still honored you. Still honored you. So that's how you became a nurse. Now I didn't have any. Well, I had some cousins that were nurses, but it was my mom desired to be a nurse. She never did. So I told her from the moment she birthed me, that's all she spoke. That's all she spoke. So I'm a product of if you speak it over them long enough, and that's all I wanted to be when I came to college. And I thank God it's been a great career, and I've had great success with it. Great success with it. Now going back to when you said you talked to Valton, so you had never met Valton.
No, had never even heard of this person before, to be, to be honest with you. But because me and my nursing sister, we talked about doing skits, and we said one day we're gonna come up with our own show. It's gonna be about nurse and the drama and the politics, and we just that was what we always talked about. So when I got the call, I was sitting at the nurse station at work one day, and it was on a Saturday. I never forget, and I was like, okay, I was like, well, God, you work kind of fast because had been talking. It's like, one day I'm gonna be on somebody's screen. I always say that I'm going, and people always tell me, you miss your calling in Hollywood. And I was like, you know what? It's not over. I'm gonna be on somebody's big screen one day. So
Yeah. You know what? You sound like me. But people don't know this, but I was a thespian in high school, loved acting and all that. And I was like, how I went to nursing school? Why I didn't go sit under the bridge in Hollywood or something? However, all things, it'll work out. It's all in
yeah,
God's timing with it. Because I used to, I could, what was it? Good time, not good times. What's happening?
hmm
I could play the D character down to the T. You remember the
no,
sister?
she was a cat.
Yeah, I
She
could play that down to a T. So here you are. So had you acted before, or just in life you felt like you were an actor?
I wrote plays for church.
Okay.
I I used to rap, so I used to write rap, and it was just always in me. Like I love to write. It came natural, and I like to act out things. And anybody would tell you, Jocelyn is a character. She's funny. That's just me. I'm just an
Okay.
energetic. So it's always been in me. I've never been shy or anything. So I started early on doing that kind of stuff. Started acting out in church. Started with Easter speeches, and it just
Okay.
went. I
Yeah,
love
it's
to
kind
write.
of yeah, I understand that. My mom made sure I had the longest speech in the I was like, oh my God, why you got that one? And you better
Yeah,
know it. You know, back then you couldn't go up there with your paper. That was a
that's
no.
what I about to say. You better know it before you get on that stage.
It was a no. I said, y'all let these kids go up there with their paper. Our parents and play that. You gonna stay up all night Saturday night and have that thing down pat for Easter and Christmas, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So with all of this, you writing plays. Is it just something you started doing? Just writing plays?
Just started writing. Period. I started off with writing, keeping a diary. That's where all begun. Just
Okay,
keeping a just every day, just journaling my thoughts, my feelings, and my feelings and my thoughts turn to lyrics, and my lyrics turn
okay,
into. So yes, I am currently writing a book as well. So hopefully by
okay.
the end we have that published. So that's just what I love doing.
Well,
I
look, girl,
want to.
I would actually have you on to promote the book then, huh? Once you get there, let me ask you this. So what has it been like? When you got there to start filming, what was the feeling that you felt?
it was it was unbelievable. I was nervous because that was my first time being on that type of set, like a real set, real cameras. Let's go. You got to know your lines. It was nervous, but it was also something that I had longed for so long. So I was like, it's either now or never. So let's just make the most of it, and we'll see where it goes. But even if it
Okay.
doesn't go, you still can say you've had the opportunity. So
And if y'all don't realize this, Valton has some A-listers in this episode. The married couple that have been actors forever.
yeah,
And I'm just amazed how God just really opened up doors. The film got a big preview in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, and you all, that's why you all support these new up and coming movie makers. If you think about it, long ago when Spike Lee did his first movie, it wasn't all that polished or whatever. And I know people can be real critical. And I
right.
know everybody was talking about, Tyler Perry's Mia Cooper. I watched the movie. I enjoyed it.
I did
I
too.
mean,
Like it was
I
actually
don't know what
good.
people expected. First of all, I told people, you should know Tyler well enough by now to know. But I enjoyed it. I mean, was it like Oscar winning thing? No, but it was entertainment. It was enjoyable.
It
And
was.
it was awesome. And I feel like with Tubi, Netflix, even YouTube, there are so
Mhm.
many ways you can break into stuff without having to kick the door down. And
Right.
definitely for black people, there's been a barrier taken down from for us, and we need to support people.
Right.
Because I looked at, if you go back and look at the first Dondra Heights, compare it to the second, it's a giant step. And I know with this one, it's gonna be a giant step.
Yeah.
I was heard somebody saw somebody post, Country Wayne, the comedian.
Mhm.
Someone was saying he still shoots all his stuff, a lot of his stuff with cell phones. With he haven't got a real camera yet. And if you look
Yeah.
at some of these, well, they're not even cell phones. These are handheld computers. Let me say that
Right.
they have some dynamic HD features now that it look like
Yeah.
you have a camera. So let's be supportive. Even, it may not everything, everybody's not gonna like everything,
That's true.
but you don't have to dog it out. But like I said,
That's
I said, let me watch this Mia Cooper and see what it's about and why is there, it was like split. Oh, I hated it. I hated it. Now I will say this. I do say Tyler when he do some stuff, he needs some experts on set, especially those those
mhm.
hospital scenes. If you're like me,
I be critiquing little stuff like, wait a minute, now that don't even look like the IV pump.
oh yeah, listen. I had about to laugh for that ambulance scene in Thunder Heights. I was like, they ain't having no gloves, they ain't put no sea
Yeah.
collar on. That would not happen in real life.
Yeah.
He talking about, well, I'm gonna have to consult you next. I said, please do. Or you see the person in the ICU dying in a coma, they ain't got no IV. I'm like, no, y'all been watching
Yeah.
too much TV. That room gonna be
Yeah.
full of stuff. You ain't gonna be able to move around the bed. It's gonna have so many pumps and stuff. So
Right.
at least because what it does, people be believing that stuff happen for real when they come into the hospital. So yeah.
Right.
So your scene, without giving too much away.
Mhm.
So are you gonna be one of those kind, gentle souls? Or are you coming to turn it out?
Well, we had to make some adjustments in it. So I was about to turn up just a little bit, but because we had to make some modifications, that part was left out. So I'm kind of like in denial in a sense of what was going on. But towards the end, I am gonna turn up at the end.
Okay, then. So you were look, you was ready to let it rip.
I was ready. I was ready. I was ready.
You was ready to let
Yeah.
it go. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. So you had to pull it back a little bit, pull it back a little bit. Let me ask you this. What was it like being on set giving direction? And I'm asking you this because some people think just because you acting and stuff like it's easy. People don't realize that stuff is hard. It's tough. You got to be focused. So what was it like for you having, yeah, you're having fun and you're enjoying, but you got to be alert. So what was that mentally like?
Well, going into it, I knew my lines, but it's always that thought like, what if I freeze up? What if I get this mental block? How am I gonna sound? Am I gonna if is my audience gonna um is it gonna be believable to my audience? So,
Okay.
I had going on in my head, and it was just like, come on, you got this. It was real, and then again, you still had that feeling of disbelief, like, shoot, I done made it to the next episode. I got this. So I just had to really come with it this time. The first episode, well, I was in the second episode. I wasn't in the first one. So I
Uh-huh.
kept watching over and over again,
Yeah.
critiquing myself, and I kept saying to myself, you could have done this a little better. You could have looked this way. So, I try to bring it a little different, but keeping the
Yeah.
focus on my character, who my character was, staying true to my character. So,
And that, you know
yeah,
what? That's part of it with anything. Like even in our careers,
right,
you're always aiming to get better,
right,
to be the best that you can be. And of course, because I tell people this, if you get too comfortable with something, that's when you're more likely to make mistakes. So it's
right.
good to have that little hint of I ain't so sure about, about this and everything.
Yeah, he was laughing and playing with us a little bit, but it was times when he was like, "Come on, hey, 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 let's get focused." So I was like, "I gotta
Oh
calm
yeah, hey,
down."
I know that voice. I call it the voice. Is what I call it. The voice. The
Yeah,
voice
when
comes
he give you
through.
the play, he don't want no playing. He wants you to, hey, he's like, "Hey, this money, we got to get it." So
Yeah.
it was time. He was just understood this.
Yeah. So look, y'all see what I just put up there? You see that film camp donation, Cash App, $ Valter Johnson. That's right. Give it up.
Support,
Just want to
support.
remind you all of this. And you
Yes,
all, because they do a great job. As you can see, Ruby Red, which your name is Jocelyn, okay? Is it Jocelyn? How do you pronounce it?
Jocelyn.
Okay. Is there. And just think, the children are getting exposure early, and they're not just learning acting, they're learning how to shoot film, they're learning the writing, they're learning
Yes,
all the support stuff that goes along with it, because they can have careers in that. They hairstylists, MUAs, makeup artists, I mean, that designers and
right.
everything. Not too long ago when Tabitha Brown came through, which I love about her, she intentionally tried to use local people for things that
Yes,
she's having. So you get your locals hired here. And that's one thing Valter's been intentional. He's had to bring in some A-listers for the name recognition and to get more support, but he is building it with local talent or up and coming talent. Um, a lot. I think one thing that was phenomenal was she's an opera singer. Was it Divine? I didn't watch the Oscars. I watch it on YouTube. I can't be sitting doing all that. But she ended up acting because her mother told her, you need to go across the street, take some classes to learn something else. And here now, she's won an Oscar as a supporting actor. So exposure, you never know when it like um Ruby Red just said, she's always been plays, even as a child. And now she's getting the opportunity. And let's just say hypothetically, because everybody want to be the next blow up. Everybody want to be great.
right.
There are many people, you all, that are making a good living, and they're not big Hollywood mainstream names. And based on the stuff going Hollywood, you might not want to be in that set because it is a hot mess. You might be. And if you think about it, right here in Birmingham, what do we have? The Red Mountain Theater, the
Yes,
Lyric Theater. We have Alabama School of Fine Arts, you
right.
all, that produce a lot. So Birmingham has a
Here,
lot to offer. And definitely in the music world. I mean, jazz to everything. Um, all kinds of things that you can do. So don't discount the arts. And that's the one thing I hate. They've taken the arts almost out of the inner city schools. And believe it or not, they've proven that being in the arts decreases truancy, fighting, bullying, because there's something about being in plays, acting, singing, playing instruments. It's calming for the nervous
here.
system. It's calming. It's calming. So look, in your scene when you were acting, Could you relate to some of Ruby Red? Is she a part of you or just totally opposite of you? You heard me? Oh, you like, yeah, I can't hear you now.
Back on now.
Okay.
I took the thing. I'm leaving it alone. But
Okay.
yes, could because I'm an animated person. I know how
Okay.
to turn it off. So um, I was talking to Rod was asking me that he was the director. So he was like, I don't know if this is he said, well, I'm pretty sure this might not be your character every day, but I said, it depends on the day. You know, we all might have a little bit of ruby red in us. Like I said, I know how to turn it on and turn it off. So she can be me sometimes. Depends on the day.
Well, I'm ready for all this stuff to come forth so I can see it. Like I said, after that last episode, I called Valter after. I said, "Oh my God, you went loco in the." I said,
Hey, to the next episode.
I
Just
said that's
wait.
almost too much because this was the funniest part to me, and Naomi and Sammy playing this part. I was like,
They're my on there. They're my parents.
okay. I said, did you have to have Naomi to confess all of that at the hospital with the son fresh gone, and then go? I said that was too much.
So much. You didn't know. You thought
He
you were
just
getting
unloaded.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like
That's
confession time. Tell it all. Tell it all.
that's vouching for you. That's vouching.
Yeah, and for me, it is so great to see how Naambi has come out because when she had no intentions, it was like, look, Valter was piecing together his people, and I
Mm-hmm.
just heard a beat. Is that you, Valter? I ain't fooling with you. What I told you.
Ruby Red in the house. What's up, girl? Hey, we up in the mountains. I just wanted to pop in real quick and say hello. That I'm proud of you for keeping on, keep doing what
Hey,
you're doing, baby. Huh?
hey, look, I thought you heard me talk about you. We were talking about that last episode where you just had everybody confess everything and just
What you
left us
talking about?
exhausted.
Uh-uh.
At the end,
What
I
what last
said,
what last episode you speaking of?
the last Dundrill Heights, when you
I'm,
just tell everything unloaded in the last 10 minutes, I was like,
you just wait till this one comes out.
I
I
bet what I already said with a
Yeah,
character called Ruby Red, we
yeah,
already know.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
grew up
yeah.
with a lady named Lily Red.
But did she tell you why her name is Ruby Red in the show?
No, we was trying not to reveal too much. So
Okay.
we didn't go there. We won't look.
yeah,
You know how
I
folks are. We don't want to tell too much because
Yeah, I feel
we
you.
want to watch. They need
I
to
feel you.
watch this and support it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we up here celebrating Lost Free's birthday, and
Happy birthday, darling.
yeah,
Enjoy.
yeah, I let her know. But I just wanted to pop in and tell you both I love you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Keep
Okay,
on
love
keeping
you
on.
you.
too.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. I told you he was gonna come in. He couldn't resist.
Sure.
Hey, he
Yeah.
got better. He had better connection up in the mountains than he did when he was home.
He laughing
Looking
up in
real clear. I guess he high enough up. Look,
the line
one of
bad.
our I say this is our number one fan, Eleanor Fisher. She put in there. We talking about remembering lines. You talking about lines? She said in the wedding scene, A Different World. He said he forgot his line and he just said, "Baby, please." He made up some.
Listen, yes, made it
So
believable.
so with that, when you were you thinking about the next line, hoping to make sure you didn't forget it, or were you just kind of chilled about it?
A couple of times, well, Valton changed the script up a couple of times, and it was so funny because I think I had got the script the day before we actually stopped the scene. So I'm like, oh man, this is. It wasn't too far off, but I had to remember the words had changed a bit. So a couple of takes, I said the old line, and then I just said, hey, you got to focus. And so I just put myself in the moment, and I was good to go.
And I think that's something that directors and screenwriters do. They will change up on you, and you like,
Mhm.
I've been up all night learning this, and you gonna change it. So look, you
Right.
all, I just popped that email up again. Welcome to Conversations Art, the Val and Val Show. If you have someone that you think would be great to be a guest on the show, you can email me at conversationisart@gmail.com, and definitely follow us on Facebook and YouTube. It's at Conversations Art on Facebook, and we're on the Conversations Art, the Val and Val Show. Please like and share our page. We don't know what's going to happen with this, what God's going to do, but we're going to go with whatever he does. Like I said, right now for me, this is therapy. It helps me disconnect from the world and just engage with other people. And also, don't forget, if you want your children to go to this film camp, you better go register because you're going to miss out. And you all, it's dynamic. Now, I'm sure you would probably attend a day or something, Ruby, maybe at the film camp. It is awesome. It was awesome. Last year when I went, I was simply amazed what those children did in 4 days. So I was like, wow. And it just goes to show you how technology has advanced because you ain't have to be, the big old film reels they used to have loaded.
Yes.
And you all, the 35 millimeter drop in camera films, and then you had to take it and
Get
we
them-
now everything is digitized. And of
right.
course, one thing about kids now, they're born in a digital world. Um, that's all they know is technology. And they are these kids 1 and 2 can work these tablets.
That's
I
true.
heard when this 5-year-old got hungry, he ordered $1,000 worth of food from a restaurant on his dad's phone. His daddy thought he was playing games. Until all this food showed up at their house. So they are
Yeah.
really, 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 really smart. So for you
Smart.
now, since you got the real taste of the acting bug, uh, how you feel about that nursing now? you you trying to get your
Yeah.
strategy?
I told you, when I got finished filming, I was like, now I love nursing, don't get me wrong, but I was like, if I could just do this acting thing, if I could just really get a role, it's like, ooh. I mean, it's therapy. I love it. I love acting and I love nursing. But if I had to make a choice right now, if somebody say, "Hey, you go to Hollywood or keep being a nurse here at home," I'm gonna take that trip to Hollywood
I
because
got you.
not again, nursing is just not what it used to be. It's changing. It's always something different, and you have to cover yourself. With the chance of being sued, the chance of just
Yeah,
dealing with
it's a
so much.
lot. It's
It's
healthcare that's what's changing because it's not about patients. It's about the almighty dollar. And granted, I know you got to have cost containments, but these are people that
right.
are sick, going through a
Yes,
lot, and you're talking about some money while big execs are getting paid a lot. So yeah, I mean, and it's a wonder why you want to, people having a mass exodus from the career field. Eleanor, the one that I read that statement from, she's a nurse. She's retired now. As a matter of fact. Hey there, Roosevelt. How you doing? I ain't seen him in a long time friend. We were in the military together. And we got Truett is on here. Some people I can't, if they're watching for different things, I can't see them for some reason. I gotta figure out that YouTube why it doesn't show up like Facebook does. So you all make sure you like our page and share it and just promote us along the way. And also promote all these black businesses. The young ladies I showed you all coming up, Dr. Adrian Starks, who's a scientist, she's doing awesome things. Go to her website. And also Devin Frazier, who is, I mean, y'all, she is making a change in literacy. She is stopping the pipeline to prison, which has predicted that by the age of, I think is 4th grade, if our children cannot read, they would be a part of the juvenile system and possibly incarcerated by the time they're grown are sadly dead. That's from not being able to read, you all. And they are building prisons based off this data of them not being literate. So we've got to do better. When you buy games, buy them something educational as
true.
well. And we know kids don't get to choose who they're born to. So we have to be gap fillers, which is what we've done all our lives. The village has always been there to fill the gaps. When you had less desirable uh, fam- parents, so we need to take care of each other. And then the last one was Dr. Veronique Zimmerman Brown. She actually goes and helps systems create dynamic education programs to help their kids because everybody don't learn the same. And
That's
we've been
true.
functioning in this antiquated 1700. education system that has not really kept up with technology. So she goes and teaches them how to do that. So Ruby
Wow.
Red, what's next? You got any more filming to do?
Yes, we have finish out this episode. I don't know, we don't have any dates right now. But hopefully there's be plenty more after that.
Okay. And so
Only
you Sammy and now Amber's daughter, is that what I heard?
yes, they're my
Huh.
lovely.
I ain't heard you mention in none of the other episodes, so it gonna be interesting to see how you show up.
Yeah, it's we're vouching with the twists and turns. Like I said, they're my loving parents, but not so loving. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, and we know how it goes. It's let me tell you, it's one scene I told Val, I said I ain't like that scene in the first part. You know, when she's talking to her daughter-in-law and she's like talking about him cheating. Well, you just gotta deal with it. I was like, I couldn't have played that role.
Now, we're not gonna do that now.
Yeah, but we know that's what women were told
True.
back in the day. And it's true. And it's true. I tell people, that's why sometimes, like I tell people, do not pay attention to these what do you call them? These movie critics.
Yes.
Listen, you cannot don't send me to watch a movie about Russian life because I don't know nothing about that. So I'm probably not gonna like it, or I may like it because I'm this type of person. Oh, I can understand that. But when it comes to our productions and stuff, number one, you already know it's gonna be criticism. I would
Right.
never forget. People used to dog Spike Lee out. You remember when Spike Lee first started? And they also told Spike Lee he was too critical of the systems and the things. You remember the movie? What was the movie? School Day. At the end, he said, "Wake up."
Mm-hmm.
What is the big thing now? Oh, we woke.
Stay woke.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, what he was sharing still exists today, but we were like, no, things have changed. Then we got the Voting Right Act. We're now accepted. And Spike was like, nah, y'all been bamboozled
Right.
in some way. So the person that you discard today may later on down the line, and not a biblical prophet, so don't nobody over religious freak out, but they could be your prophet of what was going on. And I think about NWA, and folks that know what that stands for. But I spent a lot of summers in California. All that stuff that they were rapping about when they were on the FBI list, bring it forward. They was telling the truth. The difference
Mm-hmm.
was, now I spent a lot of time in California, so I saw all that stuff. I spent my summers there with my older siblings. So I saw all that stuff. So what they were writing about, it was true. Now, come forward to 21st century, not with technology, we get to see it. It's not that it did not exist. We get to see it in real time because we got TikTok, Instagram. Well, y'all may not have TikTok long, so y'all better TikTok while you can.
Yeah, I've been watching that. Ooh,
Listen, so all you TikTokers, y'all better TikTok. Y'all may have to go over to the Instagram platform
for a while last.
with it. And I was telling somebody, they talking about China. Well, are we gonna shut down America? Because I think we got a whole lot of stuff made in China. So
Right.
what are we gonna do? So let me ask you this: since you've had this experience, what will you do to help others that you know may have that gifting take a chance, step out and take a chance?
I would say go for it. I would say you never know until you actually try it. We can sit at home and we can hope and we can wish, and then if you let an opportunity pass us, you have all kind of regrets, and we try to think like, what if I had have made it, or what if I, could have done something different or made it big. Who knows what have happened? So I just feel just take a chance.
Yeah,
Just don't try to give you opportunities. I don't care how small it may seem or how minute. Just take a chance. You never
yeah.
know.
And everybody know this is Christians. We're Christians. I ain't gonna say it's a Christian show, but we're Christians. And it ain't gonna be no craziness on here like that, okay? Because following Christ. But you all, You cannot overcome regret. If you don't do something, wish you coulda, shoulda. And I always tell people, if it don't work, you step back and say, okay, that didn't work. But don't give up. Don't give
Right.
up. Now, let me say this. If you know you ain't got that gift, you need to pivot and go ask God what your gift is. Okay, everybody can't do everything. Sometimes we are aspiring to do things that is not our gifting. Okay,
That's true.
I wouldn't have ran out there trying to be no gymnast because I ain't finna be doing all that flipping and twirling. I don't
Yeah.
even want to practice that hard. I was sharing with someone about bodybuilding. I don't want to be that dedicated to lifting weights and meal
Right.
prepping. I won't be healthy, but I won't be that healthy. I won't be that committed to it. So you just have to find out what you're, and I'm not gonna even say good at, what you're capable of and perfect that.
Right.
And that's
And
all different.
sometimes we have an issue too of um letting people force things on us too.
Yeah.
You
Take you
know,
out of what you want to do.
right. Let us just say, oh, brother, that's never gonna work, and they ain't gonna find no come down here looking for nobody in Birmingham. You just have to just keep positive people around you and just kind of stay away from people like that because you'll never do what you want to do if you keep listening to certain people telling you what you
Yeah.
can't do if you didn't try.
True. I got a you take my daughter, she's a publicist. She started her own company and she went to Alabama and she majored in marketing, media, television, etc. All that stuff
Mm,
and journalism. And someone saw me out and she graduated in 2015. So this was prior to that. She's probably 2013, 2014, third year in. And the person said, well, how are your children, Felice and Cameron? I said, oh, they're doing well. Cameron's still in school, high school then. I said, Felice is at Alabama. And he said, you know, what is she majoring in? And I told him, he said, oh, she shouldn't have done that. She's not going to make any money in that because my daughter has that degree and it's not working for her. And you know what I looked at him and said? I said, maybe your daughter chose the wrong degree.
man,
I said
okay.
her gifting is my daughter. I said she can write well, she can speak well, and she been marketing all her life. In middle school, we laughed. My husband's a music guru, her dad. So this was during the
Uh-huh.
days of CDs. And if anybody on here real tongue, go Google that. Okay, it's like a DVD player. Y'all might not know. No, it was no iPods or nothing like that. So he was like, Big Lots was a place. You know, they sold them stack of blank CDs this tall, real cheap. So he was like, you be using my CDs? I said, no. He said, it don't seem like I'm making that many recordings.
Yeah.
Come to find out, honey, that hustler, she was making party mixtapes for the children at school, selling them for
Oh
$5, right?
no.
And when her dad found out, he said the first rule of business, you got to invest in your own product. Now you gonna start buying your own, cause you know at Big Lots you got like 50 of them for like $9. He said you gonna start buying your own CDs. But
I would
she was
I
making
would
party mixtapes in middle
yeah.
school. So she already was marketing,
Hustler.
writing, yeah. So and that's what I did when we recognized that that's what we nurtured in both for our kids with us. So stop being a dream killer.
Right.
Stop even if you can't support it, don't say anything.
True. That's true.
But
I just
don't
thought of
discourage people.
right.
Now, every now and then you got to be a Simon Cowell and say, baby, I realize what you're saying, but I don't think you geared toward that. But let them try it one time. You might want to let them try it one time. Prove
Right.
it to themselves. To prove
Right.
it to themselves. So
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So look, I really enjoy. So y'all, okay, nursing. Ruby might be exiting left
Hey, it
when this
is
come. And you know what? A good example would be this. I think about was it mm, 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 Black Panther. Black
mm-hmm.
Panther. I think the lady has since died, but the older lady that was the elder in the
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther when they were sitting around, that was her first role. And she's always, I think she had some small bit pieces, but major role. And I think
Mhm.
she was in late 80s or early 90s. You all, it is never too late
Never.
until you are in, until I'm gonna say this, until you die or you are mentally and physically able not to do something. It is never too late. And I think she ended up being in both of them, but I think she's since died. So it is never too late. Some people have their breakouts, you all, middle age, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then you have some actors that have been acting a long time and they don't get that big role.
Right.
You may get bit pieces. And as she said, start small. You'll be like, well, I ain't taking no commercial. Well, I ain't gonna be a what you call them when the people show up.
Extra.
They extra. Yeah, that. I'm not gonna be an extra.
Gladly be an extra.
Yeah, you don't know. Well, if I can't have the whole role, I ain't gonna say one line. Well, the Bible says if you're faithful over little, he'll make you ruler over much. So if you can't
Exactly.
appreciate one line,
Yeah.
ain't people gonna hate working with you if you got the whole thing because you're gonna be woo.
And they
They
don't
ain't gonna even want
realize
to.
all line. You still got an audience watching you, so you still need to bring it.
For real.
Still
I think about Cheryl Lee Ralph's acceptance speech. How long? How long
yeah.
did it take? But you be faithful to what you're doing and stay committed to it, and everything else will work out.
That's true.
Will work out. People like, well, I want to make X amount of dollars. Listen, if they call me to be an actor and they said, Valerie, I'll pay you $5,000 a scene, uh, I ain't made
Oh,
$5,000 an hour for nursing yet in one
oh, that's
wop. Okay,
I'm there. What time?
that's what I'm saying. You got to look at the big picture and what your end goal is. A lot of
Yeah,
times, people are testing you to see what your attitude is.
true.
So
That is
let me
so
say this,
true.
y'all. Y'all know now. Valton have some people that he called, but the rest of y'all got to read for it. Okay, you may not have that favor, so be prepared. Keep up, and you all, when they call for a reading, you need to be on time and be prepared.
Please.
That's an indication of what you're gonna do on scene. Good, and
Right.
and trust me, Valton won't have no problems of firing you. I promise you that.
No, not at all.
I promise you. With Lord, what's the insurance man name he played? Oh my God, that character. I can't.
Oh,
Well, excuse me. Funeral
Jabumba.
home / insurance. I told him, ain't that a conflict of interest?
Kevin Jabumba.
Yeah, you selling insurance and then burying the people. Now that was a funny scene at the hospital when the son died.
Yes.
You here to pay off the policy and take the body. Oh my God.
Jackson family. Jackson family. He's so
I'm like, wait a minute. That was worse than the ambulance chaser. I'm like, you come from? Is he just took his last breath. You already there. That was so
yes.
funny. That was so funny. Well,
Yes.
look, Ruby Red, I have really enjoyed this. I pray for you much success. That if your desire is to break out and acting, I ask that God open up that door for you and make it happen. But in the meantime, keep being committed to nursing and taking care of those patients, despite the many obstacles that we
Yes.
have to have. So look, you all, next week, we got a mystery guest. Um,
Ooh.
and I got that wrong. It's a mystery guest. It's not Mario Hines. I forgot to take that off. He's gonna be the next week, but it's a mystery guest next week. So be looking for that. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a big surprise for you. So um that is all we have for tonight. Again, I thank you for coming on. I thank you all for watching. You all have a good night. And remember, let's support these Black businesses. Let's encourage our children
Yes.
because it's enough to deal with in this world than for us to be against each other. And people in Birmingham, well, everybody on here, not just Birmingham, y'all pray for your cities. Pray for your cities. because we got a lot of crime and a whole lot of stuff going on. So just pray for the cities. So you all have a good night. Y'all take care and rest well. Ruby, hang on.